All right, I think it is.
Okay. Would you mind telling us your
First name is Hailey.
All right.
What are some things that you would want people to know about those in poverty, like that wouldn't know anything about it?
Well, a lot of the people that come in, when people talk about poverty, they have this image of like a homeless person or a dirty person, or like someone who is lazy or doesn't work. And a lot of the people that come in have jobs or they're on disability, and disability doesn't give you a lot of money to work with through the month. Like maybe the most that I've seen is people get a lot of like $733 is generally the number that pops up, and their rent is $500 or $600, and not that's not sustainable for them to live off of, especially if they can't work. And there's also this like stigma with single mothers, and they should stop having children, and they're taking a lot of our money. But a lot of the families that come in, single mothers, single fathers come in, two-parent families. Most of them work, or a lot of them don't qualify for ADC or TANF. So I think people who aren't in poverty need to see that the people who are in poverty they're people. They're not the other. They're not, they're not stealing people's money. They're not a nuisance to them.
Do you use the pantry, or you just work here?
I can use the pantry. I haven't yet, because right now I'm actually a Lutheran Volunteer Corps member. So I live with 8 other housemates up in North Omaha. So we focus on sustainable living and simple living and spirituality. So I could use the pantry sometimes. I mean, bread and sweets we're always welcome to take, and occasionally, we ask the pantry manager if you can take an extra item, but so far I haven't used it yet.
Have you ever thought that you or anybody that you grew up with or anything would ever end up struggling with like poverty or food insecurity or anything?
Yeah, because I feel like people don't realize how close you are to living in poverty. My dad lost his job, and thankfully my mother, she has a good job, but it still cut a lot of our budget, and it was really hard on my family. But I have a lot of friends who can't rely on their own family for assistance, whether it's through school. I had friends who did work study, and so they were constantly working, and they also took full credits, and so I know that was really hard and really stressful on them, and they were always like just a little bit away. My best friend actually from college, she moved to North Carolina this summer, and she moved for a fresh start. She didn't have anything. She didn't know anyone. She was still looking for apartments. She ended up sleeping in a car for a while, going to pantries because she didn't have anything with her, and she couldn't ask her family for it. And at first, it's hard for people to come to a pantry because there's a lot of stigma about it, but we're here for them. We're here for everyone. The pantry's here for me too, so it's
Well, do you feel like out of the people that you normally see come through here, like where do you feel like they usually get their hope or
the support, strength? A a lot of people that have come in, thankfully some of them, have family members that they can rely on. Or, if they go to church, they use their faith. A lot of people, talk about God when they come in. And, even if they're medically not feeling well, or they've got all these finances, they're like, well, God will provide, or, they tend to rely on faith a lot, or, some people rely on us a lot. So they're really happy with the things that we do, and they're really thankful that they can come to us every month or every 2 weeks. Because if they don't receive food stamps, or some people receive like $10 in food stamps, and that's not always going to go that far. So they know that they can rely on us or other pantries or other services around Omaha that will be there as like a support if they need us.
Did you volunteer to work here, or do you is it a job?
Yes and no, because the Lutheran Volunteer Corps, I get paid, but it's a stipend every month, and it just covers living expenses and transportation, like a bus pass every month. So technically I'm volunteering, but I'm also getting paid once a month. But I do live below the poverty level while I'm here.
What do you feel has led to your poverty? What was it like before? Or were you always in poverty?
Me?
Yeah.
I was not always in poverty. I grew up in a good household. I mean, my dad, had a really good job, and he worked in the paper industry. So we always got free paper, and that was really nice. And I mean, my mom, she didn't go to college, but she made it work, and she found jobs that interested her, and she was able to. She bounced around a little bit just because of interest and stuff, but and I went to a public school, and it was decent, and I don't think I really experienced what it's like to be impoverished, or experience with people in poverty until I got to college, because I graduated with a social work degree, and last year I interned with another agency in my home state, Ohio, with hunger and homelessness too. So I did case management, and I was very much involved with my clients' home life and stuff. So that was a lot more eye-opening than when I grew up. There was a lot of places that I was a very naive child, and I would see places that my parents would say were bad places. You don't go there, and I'm like, why? I don't understand. Sure, they're very nice people there, and even in college, I'd walk around my neighborhood, which is very much like North Omaha, which in some cases you should, at certain times of the day you shouldn't do that, but you figure out when it's safe, and as long as you're not involved in illegal activities, you are generally fine.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about it.
So from your experience working with people when you do social work and people who use this pantry or other pantries, what do you think, if there was a boost you could give them to push them in the right direction, so they permanently don't need to come here anymore? What kind of boost do you think people need, if that's possible?
It's a complicated question, because a lot of,
It's very case by case.
that, and some of it's not even them. Like there's not much they can do. It's generally the system. Like there's nothing I can do to help them get more disability, or if they can't work. There's a lot of older adults who come in, and there's nothing much I can do for them. I can provide them resources and help them find other places in Omaha that can assist them with other things, whether it be a lot of people come in for prescription assistance, so there's places that help with that, and really the only thing that I can really offer them besides resources is just like a listening ear. So they come in and they have something to say, they want to talk about something. If something's really bothering them, then they can sit down and talk about it. Like it's not gonna, I don't have a time limit of the kind. So even if it takes 20 minutes, well, that's fine. And if that's what they need, then we'll just sit here and they can talk at me or they can talk to me, whichever they need. And then once they're ready, then we can, take them back out.
Would you say that the people that you work with have like high hopes?
It definitely depends. There's a lot of people. I say a lot of people, but there are people who come in who really, who are excited for, some people, started college. There are people who come in who have had, college degrees and they are excited to be starting a job. And then, there's people who come in that, are excited to see us as well. But, it's part of their, if they know that they can't they're not able to get out of their rut yet, this is something that they do every month, or every couple of months, depending. There's some people who come in who haven't been here since 2014. But there's a dog who comes in with one of our veteran clients, and definitely people get excited to see him. It's a very sweet dog. And there's people who come in that haven't been to the pantry in a while, and they get excited to know that it's a choice pantry, because there's lots of pantries that you just get a box of what they give you and there you go. And here you get a allotted amount and you can choose what you want, because it's more sustainable that way. Because if you're given a box of food that you don't necessarily like all the stuff in there, you can't eat all the stuff in there, you're just going to check it.
So, would you say that most clients are kind of have a preference for what kind of food they get as far as nutrition, or some people well, I'm just happy to get anything?
It really just depends. There's sometimes we get people who are gluten-free, we get people who don't eat pork, it's just preferences like that. Some people do come in and we used to have a bread and sweets program, but we got rid of that because of the nutritional value, and some people were causing issues, but there were some people who were a little upset about that, because they said even bread is just something that they can have, but we want to make sure that they can get more than just bread. And sometimes we have produce and sometimes we don't. There's occasionally people who come in who just want the bread and sweets with their pantry, and that's all, and that's fine. Like they can get up to whatever amount based on their household size, and if they don't want as much, that's fine. They don't have to.
How long have you been working here?
Since August.
What made you think about working here?
Well, I wanted to continue working in hunger and homelessness, because that's, I knew it a little bit better than any of the other positions. And in my other position, I did mainly case management, and occasionally I would do pantry. And I really liked doing pantry because even though it was really short case management, I still got to, meet with people, and I got to meet with a lot of people. And that's really just.
Do a lot of the clients also receive other services like WIC or SNAP?
Yeah, a lot of so we use a database that we put the information in, and the release of information, they can decide whether or not they want other agencies to see their information, because we're connected with other pantries, some other pantries in the area. And one of the questions is this person receiving SNAP benefits? If they're not, are they eligible, and what's the reason why they haven't applied or they're not? So if they're not on SNAP and they are eligible, they can come here and apply with our intake specialist, because we want to make sure that if they're eligible for SNAP, then they can get into it. Some people have felony drug convictions, so they cannot receive SNAP ever. And some people don't want to be in the system, which is, I can totally understand, because it's crazy and uncomfortable, and you have to recertify every year or so.
What is SNAP?
SNAP is a supplemental nutrition assistance program, so it's the food stamps. That can range from hundreds of dollars to maybe 10. It depends on household size, ability to work, stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of people on. There's more people on disability and SSI than there are on TANF or SNAP.
Are a lot of those veterans? Just curious.
Well, I don't know about the SNAP, because SNAP, ranges over the course of everyone. But if someone's a veteran, they generally, if they don't have any other income, they have like a VA disability or VA assistance. Because we have a homeless veteran program here.
Okay.
We also have connections to the VA hospital too. So if we can assist them, like if they're not homeless, then we definitely have connections with people that can.
Would you say that people here are open to talking about their food insecurities, or do you think that they would try to hide it?
For the people who come regularly or have been to a pantry before, are definitely more open about it. People who have never been to a pantry are nervous, they're uncomfortable, they don't know really what's happening. All they hear is me typing and clicking on things. But generally, after the first time, they're a little bit more open about, talking about what's going on in their life, because, once they realize that we're not judging them and we're just doing our job, we're just trying to help you. This is, they come back with me first, and then they go sit outside, in the lobby, and then someone calls them back to the pantry, and it's like, this is what you can get, this is, where we've got meat in the box, and they're just like, oh wow.
Was there anything that we haven't asked you that you want to share, any insight that you've gotten over the years or over the time that you've worked with people?
I definitely found that I have a lot more common with a lot of the people that come in. Like, people tell me things that, I can relate to, like instances or experiences, and it's sometimes I forget that I'm talking to a client, like giving them food that day or hygiene check or something. So it's nice to have that kind of relationship with someone that, like, even though I am, the intake person, that I can, it's like I said before, they're not the other. They're not some distant person or population that is causing trouble or whatever in society. They're actual people, and a lot of them, come from middle class and like a job loss, or they lose their house or something like that happens. So they're not really that different from anyone else.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No
Thank you very much.
Give us wonderful answers.
Thank you.